Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, bows out of the bench.
The Chief Justice must therefore not see himself as the emperor of the Supreme Court. The occupier must work with his colleagues.
Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, flags of Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program in Delta State.
Economic empowerment remains a core objective of the Renewed Hope Initiative, and we have consistently delivered on this promise.
National Assembly commits to tackling gender-based violence in Nigeria through legislation.
We must put in place institutions, structures, and strategies to ensure compliance.
And good morning, Nigeria. Today, our focus is on dealing with challenges of flood.
Well, about 10 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have either experienced various degrees of flooding or recorded casualties as rains intensified.
Recently, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Otsev, warned that 21 more states might suffer flooding.
Well, a downpour grounded business and commercial activities some time ago in Lagos and Ogun states, which resulted in flooding that brought down a two-story building in the Mushin area of Lagos. Now, an incident that overwhelmed residents while pupils could not attend schools in parts of the state. People was also swept away by the flooding in the K2 area of Lagos.
Very sad report there, and of course across the country the story is the same. Now, the annual flood outlook by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency released in April had predicted that 148 local government areas in 31 states fell within the high flood risk areas. The affected states include Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Imo, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, and Kebbi.
Well, that list also encompassed Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, and Yobe states. And
so today on Good Morning Nigeria, we focus on an issue that is becoming too familiar, flooding. Every year we get to talk about it, from the ravaging waters in Bayelsa to the submerged streets in Lagos. Nigeria is once again grappling with the devastating impact of flooding.
Well, as the nation struggles to come to terms with the loss of lives, livelihoods, and infrastructure, we ask, what can be done to mitigate the effects of flooding? How can we adapt to the new reality of climate change and urbanization?
So questions, we hope to get the answers. Join us as we examine the challenges of flooding in Nigeria, from the root causes to the resilience of affected communities, with our guests made up of experts in disaster management, urban planning, and climate change.
Well, that list of guests won't be complete without you, the viewer. Together, we will explore the human cost of flooding and the stories of survival. Now, the role of government, private sector, and civil society in flood mitigation. Innovative solutions and technologies to adapt to flooding. The intersection of flooding with other critical issues such as poverty, healthcare, and education. So, let's navigate the complexities of Nigeria's flooding crisis and discover ways to build resilience, adapt to change, and create a safer future for all. Welcome to the program. I am Victor, as we are reaching you on the network service of the NTA.
And I am Ian Ray John. I joined Victor to welcome you to the program. And like Victor said, we do sincerely appreciate the viewer. You know, like they say, the viewer is king. And we're here to make sure you get the very best. News report review will come up in the course of this program, and that will be much later when Chukwudi Okoli-Ugbaja would join us. But for now, we have our colleague Musa Abubakar with the morning news. Musa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Victor. Here's the news. The sterling leadership qualities of an eminent jurist who is the immediate past chief of Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Tajuddin Ariola, resonate at the validatory court session in honor of the retired head of the country's judiciary. The ceremonial hall of the Supreme Court attracted who is who in the Temple of Justice, came to honor juries whose tenure was full of imprint in the judiciary.
Not at all. He is not. He's only the first among equals.
Indeed, His Lordship came, saw, and conquered. He has made his mark and left indelible imprints in the annals of the Nigerian judiciary and the legal profession in general.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates Justice Olukayode Ariola as he retires as Chief Justice of Nigeria after a successful public service career. Justice Ariola served as Justice of the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, Enugu and Lagos divisions before his elevation to the Supreme Court in 2011. He was sworn in as Chief Justice of Nigeria in 2022 and served the nation in diverse capacities as a judicial officer. President Tinubu commends the eminent jurist for his services to the nation, noting his impactful leadership of the judiciary and his efforts in enriching Nigerian jurisprudence as well as strengthening the fiber of the law. The president thanks Justice Ariola and wishes him the very best for the future. A statement by the presidential advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngilale, indicates that President Tinubu will swear in Justice Ariola's successor at the State House Council chambers today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged the Nigerian judiciary not to be deterred, but rather be resolute in actualizing its constitutional responsibilities. The president, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this at the public presentation of the book Judging with Justice, the autobiography of Justice Olukayode Ariola, the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria.
As President of Nigeria, I am happy to have witnessed some of these laudable achievements. I hope his successor in office will carry on the torch passed on by his lordship.
This autobiography is more than just a recounting of events.
37,000 women petty traders in Nigeria have received the sum of 50,000 naira each as business recapitalization grant, courtesy of the Renewed Hope Initiative at a ceremony in Asaba to flag off the disbursement of 1,000 beneficiaries in Delta State. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says the intervention is aimed at expanding the contributions of the informal sector to the national economy.
850 million naira will be disbursed to 37,000 women petty traders across the nation. Economic empowerment remains a core objective of the Renewed Hope Initiative, and we have consistently delivered on this promise.
Now, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, has expressed commitment of Nigeria's parliament to pass enabling laws that will address gender-based violence in the country. This was at a workshop in Abuja organized by Commonwealth women parliamentarians to garner support and parliamentary response towards combating gender-based violence as well as ensure gender justice in society.
We must put in place institutions such as and strategies to ensure compliance and bring errant citizens, no matter how highly placed, to book, to serve as deterrent to would-be perpetrators.
A report just reaching us says President Tinubu returns after a private trip to France to swear in a new Chief Justice of Nigeria. Now, those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Victor and Airi after the break.